days of non-stop exploration through Morocco, it was nice to take a few days just to wander aimlessly through the charming towns of Provence and the French Riviera. My first stop was Aix-en-Provence, and since I arrived later into the evening, I was eager to get up early and explore. Okay, I swear everywhere you look here is like a film set for an adorable French movie. You know, if Ratatouille was a live-action thing, I can't get enough. The nice part about solo traveling is I can spend as long as I like admiring the pastel-painted buildings, since I'm on no one else's schedule but my own. 2 days was honestly the perfect amount of time to spend in this town, as you could see everything basically in one day, but I spent the next morning exploring the markets in the city. This region is famous for their lavender-scented products, which make great gifts to pick up for friends and family back home. Trust me, if I had the room in my suitcase, I would have bought one of everything, but I'll just have to stick with window shopping for now. I spent golden hour watching the last light of day illuminate the trees and people watching in the main square. Then it was time to head on to my next destination. On to Nice. Bye, friends. This morning I woke up early to take the train down to Nice, where I'd be spending the next few days. And honestly, I'm the biggest proponent of train travel. I love looking out the window the entire time. I made it to Nice in the late afternoon and got reacquainted with this vibrant city. I'll be honest, I'm trying to keep this trip as budget-friendly as possible after spending most of my money in Morocco the previous week, so I ate most of my meals from the Monoprix grocery store and stayed in a hostel during my time here. But that doesn't mean I didn't have fun checking out the major sites and the nearby towns. Before heading back to my hostel for the evening, I had to check out one of the famous French Riviera sunsets, and it was a beaut. Since I'd already visited Nice in 2021, my goal for this trip was to check out some of the famous towns that I'd missed last time. First up on that list, Menton, the photographer's paradise that is just covered in pastel colors. I actually lucked out with some warmer weather, so I spent the day mostly at the beach just chilling in the sun, which was so nice and relaxing. But by mid-afternoon I was feeling pretty hungry, so I grabbed some snacks from a nearby grocery store and enjoyed my lunch in this beautiful little rose garden. However, it didn't take long before curiosity got the best of me, and I had to check out the main square with the insta-famous view that I'd seen so many times. Menton was absolutely gorgeous and definitely lived up to my expectations that I had for this trip. After soaking up the last rays of sunshine on the beach, I took the train back to Nice to enjoy the rest of my evening. Another day, another town. Today we're heading to Villefranche-sur-Mer, and I'm really excited to check this one out. I immediately understood why all the Pinterest bloggers highlight this place. It's absolutely beautiful. And since we're in such a beautiful place, I figured I'd take myself out to lunch. I got this amazing eggplant pasta from the restaurant called Tosca, I believe it is, and I highly recommend. I really thought Menton was going to be my favorite town on this trip, but I think this one is number one. I could easily spend all day wandering aimlessly through these charming streets in search of gelato, but seeing as it was another beautiful day along the French Riviera, I figured I'd spend the rest of my afternoon along the water. I snapped as many photos as my camera roll could handle, and then I made my way down to the picturesque port. Tell me this town isn't straight out of a postcard. Maybe I'll just stay forever. But considering the price of accommodations in this town, I reluctantly took the train back to Nice. And I'm so glad I did. We had the most incredible sunset, and there was this man playing Golden Hour on the piano that was just the most wholesome moment. I'll never forget it. After that beautiful evening, I spent today enjoying everything that makes Nice special. Heading straight to the beach, sitting in the famous blue chairs on the Promenade des Anglais, admiring the turquoise waters that make Nice famous, and then meandering through the vintage market that takes place on the main square. Nice is not only one of my favorite towns in France, but one of my favorites of all time due to the photogenic streets like this one. Not pictured another grocery store lunch from Carrefour because I was trying to save my money to splurge on dessert. There are 2 iconic ice cream shops that sit on opposite sides of this piazza, and I checked out the one with the longer line. Safe to say it was an excellent choice, and I did not regret this decision whatsoever. Honestly, that was more than enough ice cream to fill me up for the evening, so I decided to walk it off on a beautiful stroll along the beachfront promenade to enjoy my last sunset in Nice and the French Riviera. What a beautiful end to the week. Thanks for joining me on this solo week in the south of France, and I hope to see you in the next one for more French adventures.